Following action of the 2015 Sasol Rally is brought to you by Motorsport South Africa and its partners Toyota, Ford, Volkswagen, Dunlop and of course Sasol. There are 8 rounds in the South African National Rally Championship, but amongst these it is undoubtedly the Sasol Rally which stands out as the crown jewel. South Africa's premier rally event again took place in the areas around Nelspruit, Sabie and Graskop on the weekend of the 17th and the 18th of April. As has become familiar over the years, this 24th running of the event included a number of spectacular tarmac stages, such as the Sabie Town Square stage, White River's School stage, and the signature Nelspruit Town stage affectionately known as Spaghetti Junction. But as much as these tarmac stages have become part of the Sasol Rally, so has the wet weather that often marks this event, and 2015 was no different. The weekend started cold and wet, and while the rain eased slightly on Saturday, the crews competing in round 2 of the championship had to pit themselves not only against each other, but also against extremely slippery conditions in the York Timbers plantations. To make matters even more challenging, the stages weren't consistently slippery, offering grip in some sections and understeer-inducing mud in others. But then this is rallying, a sport known for its curveballs, where nothing can be taken for granted. Welcome to the Lowveld of Mpumalanga, backdrop of the 2015 Sasol Rally, and scene of a dramatic event that unfolded amidst the rain and the mist. For the crews in South Africa's top rally class, S2000, the conditions may have been ever so slightly less challenging. With the benefit of 4-wheel drive, together with powerful 2-litre engines, these men and women had more tools at their disposal than their brethren in class S1600. But even so, it was anything but easy. Never mind what you drove on this year's Sasol. The defending champions in class S2000 are Leroy Poulter and navigator Alvin Kutsia, who champion the Castrol Team Toyota Yaris S2000. They won the 2014 championship with 1 round to spare, but came up against resistance from former champions Mark Cronje and Robin Houghton in their Ford Performance Fiesta S2000 when they won round 1 in Durban earlier this year. So even before the flag dropped in Sabie, it was clear that this rally was to be another duel between Poulter and Cronje, as it was on round 1. But Cronje had the upper hand from the get-go and led the event from start to finish. Poulter managed to restrict Cronje's lead to 29.5 seconds overnight, but on day 2 Cronje not only pulled further away, but Poulter ran into sideshaft trouble with 3 stages to go. This made it easy for Cronje, while behind Poulter battle raged for 3rd overall. Initially, it seemed as if Sasol Volkswagen's Henk Latergan would peg 3rd, but then an unfortunate racing accident on stage 8 took both Latergan and the NAD Ford crew of Japie van Niekerk and Gordon Noble out of the running, allowing Castrol Team Toyota's Janelle de Villiers to move up into 3rd place. He maintained this position throughout the day, but sadly the engine in his Toyota Yaris let go just 25 kilometers from the end of the event, which meant that Sasol Volkswagen's Gugu Zulu, with navigator Pierre Aris beside him, achieved his first podium finish in class S2000. With the spoils split between Ford, Toyota and Volkswagen, it's somewhat ironic that not everyone was happy as the mud settled after the Sasol Rally. But then again, this is rallying, and it isn't for sissies. But that was how things played out in class S2000. One step down from the 4-wheel drive machines in the class are the men and women who campaign in class S1600, South Africa's premier rally class for front-wheel drive machines with engines of 1600cc. This is a highly competitive class of racing, with a plethora of fast crews competing for the spoils. Last year it was Guy Bottrell and Simon Vasey-Lyle who walked the championship in their locally built Yato Toyota Etios. But so far this year, they've found the going tough, managing only a third place on round one. That event was won by Paul Franken and Henry Kern in their Manitou-supported Volkswagen Polo, with Fragram-supported Matthew Vasey-Lyle and Skalk van Heerden coming home second. So it was evident right from the start that Bottrell would have to fight back on the Sasol. But would he be able to do that, especially in these testing conditions?
We're here at the Sasol. The conditions are a bit testing. I'm quite sure the race is going to be won by the guy that gets the least amount of hassles, punctures and broken cars. So we're just going to maybe play it a bit easy and just see where day two positions us.
But the young Durbanite was not to have it all his own way, and the winner of round one, Paul Franken, had shown that he was able to achieve the top step of the podium. But would he be able to make it 2 wins from 2 starts?
We had a good start to the season, so we're in the lead of the championship at this moment. Sasol was a difficult event, but we know what we have to do, and yeah, hopefully we can stay strong.
Besides the defending champion and the most recent winner, Class S1600 also sports a number of other very fast and capable crews. Chad van Beurden in the Gemsport Volkswagen Polo is certainly capable of winning rallies, while Ashley Haig-Smith in the AHS Ford Fiesta R2 has proven himself as one of the fastest drivers in the lineup. Another exceptional talent is that of Richard Leek, who pilots the ATS Ford Fiesta, while Matthew Vasey-Lyle in the Fragram Toyota Etios showed his mettle by coming second on round one. But all of that is in the past, all theoretical at best. And this is the Sasol Rally, a mad dash through the plantations of York Timbers and MTO, made even tougher by extremely challenging conditions. And stage one was a firm test for the crews, as they had to brave the 14.5-kilometre stage known as Olifantsgeraamte just outside the town of Sabi. With the pressure fully on, it came as no surprise that the fastest crew through the tricky stage was last year's champions Guy Bottrell and Simon Vasey-Lyle in the Yato Toyota Etios. Their time of 11:47.1 was 2.5 seconds quicker than the time posted by Chad van Beurden and Nico Swartz in the Gemsport Volkswagen Polo. So not quite the cracking start Bottrell had become accustomed to, but certainly better than lagging by the same margin. Next quickest was youngster AC Potgieter, with Tommy de Toy beside him in their Volkswagen Polo, with Matthew Vasey-Lyle and Skalk van Heerden in the Fragram Toyota Etios posting the 4th quickest time. Richard Leek and Rikus Fourie came through next fastest in their ATS-supported Ford Fiesta, while Paulus Franken and Henry Kern in the Manitou VW Polo posted a time some 55 seconds slower than the early leaders. Championship hopeful Ashley Haig-Smith and navigator Damien van As an early victim of the Sasol Rally, as their AHS Ford Fiesta's engine let go just a short distance into the stage. For the surviving crews, it was onwards with the event, starting with a quick stop at the Dunlop Service Park, just to sort out the early niggles and nerves. This was followed by the first running of the stage known as Grootfontein,